Lists. What are my top tips? First tip is a visual one. Left align your bullets. Bring them over to that left-hand margin. Why is this a useful thing to do? Think of how we skim. We skim down the left-hand margin. The further across the reader has to go, the more inconvenient it is. Keep it nice and convenient. Keep everything down the left. Next tip. You can have too many items in a list, and I think this is a great example where we're really overdoing it. Is there a way that we could break up this list of ingredients? I reckon after ground beef, that's like, first bit is like all the stuff we add to the beef, then we cook the beef, then we start adding all of the other little bitsy-piecey ingredients. We could find condiments to add, for example. We could find another way to break that list up. Notice how the minute a list is broken up, it starts to feel more manageable to us. Here's another tip. I would not have a list with only one item in it, even if that means the page looks the same as everything else. A one item list, it just isn't a list. It's a paragraph. Okay, now here we have a great example of another list that I do think it's good that they're using numbers, because these are steps that we do in order and the numbers help us with that. But 17 steps in order can be quite overwhelming. If we break this up, again, just like we did with the ingredients list, find a logical place to break these chunks up. How many chunks is a good number of chunks in a list? I would recommend 5 if your reader is reading on a screen, 7 if your reader is reading on paper. Those numbers come from what our short-term memory can handle at a stint. If you think that bullets or numbered lists are there to help people itemize and remember content, put it in chunks that are the size they can remember. The last little suggestion I would have for you is that if you find that you've got a couple of things that are like a subset of the other things, consider putting that item last. Obviously that doesn't work in a list with numbers, but if this is a list of bullets, then that visual disjointedness, if we put that at the end of the list instead, it just sort of fades off. It feels a little more manageable for the brain.